recorder, and we'll save the the created file into our SD card, and also we'll save the information regarding this file into the media store content provider. So for that we have make some changes in the UI. Let's copy this to create the UI. For media recorder we'll keep two buttons. One will be for start recording, that is start recording, and the next will be for stop recording. So these two buttons we will use for starting the recording and stopping the recording. So we'll add these two buttons in our activity. Now we are going to add the on-click listener for start and stop recording. And before that we have to initialize those buttons. Now to record audio, and actually there is a permission needed to add in the manifest, because this can be, you can make any application to run in still mode to record users data, so or user sound. So this has a privacy related issue, so there is one permission needed to add for recording the audio. So we are using the permission, it is record audio, and also after recording the audio we are going to write them inside the SD card. So we'll add another permission, which is write external storage. So we have these two permissions added here. So now we are going to use the media recorder. So first of all, let us declare we are declaring this recorder object. Now we'll have to um, initialize this, but also we'll need some file to be created. So name this audio file, which is initially now. So after that, we are going to work in start button. So before starting, uh, initially when the uh, start button is when you haven't start the recording, in that case let us keep this stop recording enable false. Let keep it disable, and whenever user presses the start button, that is the recording has been started, so user can stop the recording too. So in that case we make this start button start recording dot set, and in the stop button this will be reversed. So let's so now whenever we are starting the recording, we have to initialize a file, and before creating the file we need to get the directory to create the file. So to get the directory we use um, the environment class, that is the external storage directory. So we have the directory where we'll save, and also we'll now we wanted to use a audio file here we have declared, so we'll use it now. And whenever user presses the start button, um, and the audio file will be created with a name and some extension. So we are going to create a, there is option to create the temp file, and we want to put some prefix like API and some suffix. There is the let's save in 3GP format and inside the directory folder. There is one unhandled exception. We are adding that here. So now our file is ready, and we will write in this file the recordings. And before that, we have to initialize the media recorder. The recorder new media recorder, and to set the source of the recorder, we put recorder dot set. As we are saving the audio, then we set the audio source, and this audio source is actually media player. So media recorder dot the audio source of media recorder can be, we'll use the microphone as the source. Say we want to record the record users sounds, user created sounds from the using the microphone. Also we have to specify the output format. To set the output format, we want to set it 3GP format. So media recorder must know in which format the output will be saved. So we take the output format, and there are the supported list of supported audio files here, output formats here. So we take the 3GPP, and then also we have to set the encoder. Similarly, set the encoder, there is the audio encoder, and the type of audio encoder will be media recorder dot audio encoder, and dot the type is AMRNB. So the data source, audio source, output format, and the encoder has been selected, and now we'll link up this recorder with the file audio file created here. So use recorder dot set output file, and here the file will be, we'll use this audio file object, and this file's path will be use to save the recordings. So before starting the recording, we have to recorder dot prepare and then recorder dot start. So before preparing, we have to handle the exceptions that can occur. So the prepare method is called here. So this is it. This is how we start the recording, by initializing the recorder, then setting the audio source, then setting output format, audio encoder, and the output file. So now we are going to stop this recording when the stop button is pressed. So to stop, we'll use the same recorder object. And whenever we stop this, we have to release this recorder so that other applications can use this recorder. But if we don't release, in that case the focus will not be provided to the next application. So we must do it. And also to add this file that is has been created, let us run this application first. So initially the stop button is disabled, and when we start recording, the recording has been started and the recorded file will be saved in the SD card. So we'll stop the recording and we'll check the SD card for the file, and we have set the prefix and suffix of the file, so will the file name will be familiar to us. So we are stopping the recording. So this is the file that has been created. There is the prefix was MMAPI and the suffix was .3gp, and according to their making the files unique, and they are using this timestamp maybe. So let's pull this out from the device. So the file has been pulled out of the device to my desktop, and if we run this here, the recording has been started and the recorded file is saved in the SD card. So we can also can also use uh, the same file to run in our media player example, setting the file URI from there. So now another thing that you can do is to add the recording to the media library of your device. So often it can be useful to notify the media scanner or the media stored database to save this. So let's write a method here, like we put a method in our activity, which is, let's make it public method, and here we want to, the reason that we are adding this to uh, content provider is to let other applications know, like media players, the other media players which can access the content provider and show all the medias from there and get all the paths from content providers. So we are adding this recording uh, to media store, and to add in the media store, which is a content provider, definitely will need something like content values. And in the content values, we'll save some of the information like file name, file format, then the date added, or the path of the file, and things like that. So for that, as we'll need to input the date of adding, so we get the system time. Next, let's put these values, put in here. The name of the key will be media store dot audio. We are putting audio files, so audio and media dot, first of all we are putting the name of the file, so this is title, and we'll save the title as audio plus audio file dot get name. Next, we'll save the format of the file, and in that case let's put this as MIME type, MIME type, and the MIME type is audio slash the type of the file that we created was 3GPP. So now we also want to add the date added attribute. So the date added will be found here, and the date will be added from the current time in millis. And also last of all, we'll have to put the path. So the path of the file So this will be used as data, and in data we will provide the file name. So file name and its absolute path. So we'll use the get absolute path. So these are the values to be populated, and now we'll use the content resolver to get the content resolver equal to get content resolver, and the method of content resolver is, first of all we'll use the URI, base URI, which is media store dot audio dot media dot content URI. This will be external content URI maybe. Okay, so now we'll have to use the new URI. After inserting the new URI will be cr.insert, and the URI for inserting the value is the base URI and the values object, and after insertion it will return the new URI and will be assigned in this new URI object. And at the same time we have to send broadcast and let others know that send the broadcast to let others know that the media scanner has some new files in its database. So intent will create an intent and will broadcast this intent. The intent will be explicit in some implicit intent. So intent will be action media scanner scan file, and the this data has been sent in the broadcast, and now just make it post to so after running this, we may not see the impact here in the application, but we can go to the file explorer, and from the data and the provider with media provider, will be able to check the database and see the external database with the media. So if you start the recording and stop this, start the recording and stop this. Okay, so new version has not been uploaded yet. We have to call this method after recorder is released. So let's run this again. Recording has been started, and then you stop the recording. And data is inserted to content provider and media store. And if you go to this database and check where did you save your data, and the folder and the name was external content URI. So external content URI should be some database from here, external.db or something from here. So this is actually how we can work with the audio recorder and save them in the external storage. So I'm stopping this record.